What's good, YouTube? It's your guy, Darian, man, the BowTie Fragrance Guy. Talk about fragrances on this channel, but also talk about grooming and style. Mostly traditional men's style. I like to talk about it on this channel because I think it's very important to look good and smell great every day that you go outside, man. So if you're into that, make sure you hit subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications by hitting the bell icon as well, so anytime a new video is uploaded, you get notified. On today, guys, I'm going to be talking about my 10 designer fragrances for life. I did a video on my niche and my high-end designer fragrances maybe about 2 months ago, and I wanted to get back around to doing my niche. I meant my designers, and it's taken me this long to get back around to it. I like to do this at least once or twice a year, just to kind of see and kind of gauge where I am with in my fragrance journey as it pertains to what I love, what I like per se, as it relates to fragrances. Now, you guys know how I feel about designer fragrances. A lot of stuff over the past 2 to 3 years has been very, for me personally, underwhelming. And I'm just happy I was able to kind of get into this in a time where I could really get my hands on some gems that really taught me a lot about the potential of what a designer fragrance could really be. But anyway, another topic for another day. I'm going to run the intro. When we'll come back, we'll get into it. My 10 designer fragrances for life. If you want to see an updated list, you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. Let's get it.
The BowTie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to jump into it. Remember, guys, I do try to link as many of these fragrances as I can find for the best price I can find through YouTube shopping. So if you click on the little link down there that says products, you can find some of these. Now, I know, I'll be honest with you, some of these are discontinued and hard to find. But again, the ones that I can that are still active on the market, I'll try to link some of these. So this first one, if you've been following me for any amount of time, should come as no surprise. It is still probably my favorite designer fragrance of all time. It is from the brand of Mugler, and this is Pure Havane. Pure Havane, we have honey, tobacco, cacao, patchouli, and vanilla are some of the main notes in this fragrance. And very nostalgic for me. Every time I talk about this fragrance, I bring it up. When I actually did a review of this fragrance years ago, I had a cold. And it was just a very fun time in the discovery mode of fragrances in the whole nine, being a part of this online YouTube fragrance community. It was a great time. I think it was probably 2018 or somewhere around there. But anyway, many moons have passed since then, but I still love this fragrance. Again, cacao, patchouli, a lot of things I just love in fragrances, and there's a nostalgic piece to this as well that helps this to be my favorite designer fragrance. So good. You do not find fragrances like this, designer fragrances on the market like this anymore. So sad it's discontinued, but I do have a backup bottle, but it is one I will always love for the rest of my life. From the brand of Mugler, this is Pure Havane. All right, guys, the next fragrance that makes the cut, another one that should come as no surprise to my longtime subscribers. This is Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. Noir Extreme, this is cardamom, there's that coffee accord, orange blossom, vanilla and sandalwood. This is fantastic. This probably is my second favorite designer fragrance of all time, right behind Pure Havane. And again, just absolutely love this stuff. It does have a gourmand smell to it. The coffee is an Indian dessert that just gave a very unique smell to this fragrance. Very creamy, very gourmand-like, without being too heavy and too, confectionery and sweet. You know what I mean? It smells like a gourmand that's done well and mature, and that's what I really love about this, the sophistication to this gourmand. So they were able to merge those two kind of genres of fragrances together, and I love this stuff. So one I will always have for life. These first two are fragrances that never change. I think on this list, if I compare it to last time, there's maybe 2 or 3 that sometimes I kind of interchange, but this is one of the staples for life from the brand of Tom Ford. Noir. All right, guys, this next fragrance is one that comes from the brand of Maison Margiela, another very nostalgic fragrance. This is By the Fireplace. Love the juice color, man. I just have to talk about it every time I show this bottle. But this has chestnuts, guaiac wood, cashmere, and Peru balsam, and vanilla. And just like the name indicates, it smells like, you know, you're sitting by the fireplace. And, you know, we always talk, most people talk about this or mention it when you talk about this fragrance. It smells like you're roasting chestnuts on a fire. You know, perfect time of the year, right? Christmas time to have this fragrance in your arsenal. And that's what it makes me think about, you know, this time of the year. And again, a great time in my discovery phase of fragrances when I got my nose on this, man. I'll never forget when I went and bought it. I think I bought it from Sephora. I remember spraying it on my hand and kind of being in the store and smelling a few other things, and just how this stuck with me the whole day. And it was just so exciting when I was so excited when I purchased it. Again, an exciting time for me overall in this whole process and journey of discovering fragrances. But anyway, love this stuff, exceptionally done from the brand of Maison Margiela by the Fireplace. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list is another staple. This one never changes, from the brand of Chanel, Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Still love this stuff, man. This is lemon, mint, lavender, amber, wood, and tonka bean as some of the main notes, and this is perfect. Of the 3 iterations of Bleu de Chanel, the EDT, the Eau de Parfum, and the Parfum, this one has a little bit more of a mature vibe to it. Not as much of a citrus kick as the other two, and more of that woodiness. So that vanilla, that lavender, and the amber wood is really more pronounced in this fragrance and compared to the other ones. And again, it's just a little bit more mature than the other two, so it's my favorite. But I don't blame anybody for any of the 3 being in their 10 for life. If you need a go-to fragrance that gets the job done, you don't have to think about it. Any place you're going in the world, any occasion or setting, this fragrance is gonna work. You gotta have one of those in your arsenal, and this is one for me from the brand of Chanel, Bleu de Chanel Parfum. All right, guys, the next fragrance on this list, this is one of those ones that's unfortunately discontinued, hard to find. But my gosh, guys, you talk about an amazing fragrance. They call this fragrance Lidge from the brand of Guerlain. It's L'Instant de Guerlain Eau Extreme. It has a black rim going around the bottle. This is anise, lemon, tea, cacao, patchouli, and sandalwood. Fantastic. I don't really have the words to describe how good this fragrance is, and I understand why it's so heavily coveted by a lot of people. The other iteration of this fragrance that's out now, the one that's still in this bottle shape, kind of gets you in the ballpark. Still not quite what this is, but the other one, they started to change the bottle presentation, is fell victim to reformulation. Fantastic, man. Again, I won't talk about it too much because it's hard to find, but it's really good. From the brand of Guerlain, this is L'Instant de Guerlain Eau Extreme. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, a lot of these fragrances have the same commentary because these were fragrances I got earlier on in my journey. But this one from the brand of Paco Rabanne, 1 million Prive. Gosh, this stuff is fantastic. I sprayed it last night. Again, look at the juice color. Just so good. Unfortunately, they discontinued this one as well, I think. But this is blood orange, cinnamon, myrrh, tobacco, tonka bean. So it's a sweet fragrance. And it kind of puts you in the mindset of a lot of the niche fragrances that I love that kind of smell like the holiday season and apple pie and stuff like that. That's kind of sort of what you get with this one. But again, amazing memories surrounding this fragrance and when my acquisition of it, when I got it, and where I was in my fragrance journey. So that's playing a role in a lot of these for me, man. But again, a lot of these fragrances also are just so different from what they're releasing today. Everything to me today kind of smells alike in the designer realm. They kind of have a very similar scent profile, you know? But anyway, like I said, I don't want to get off on that topic today, but this is some amazing stuff. I'd have a backup bottle of this one as well from the brand of Paco Rabanne, 1 million Prive. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list comes from the brand of YSL, and this is La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique. La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique. This is cardamom, lavender, ginger, and cedarwood is some of the main notes. And again, I'm gonna make it really short and sweet. It smells like the original La Nuit de l'Homme with some blue undertones. That's with a Bleu Electrique. There's that ginger there that kind of gives it this freshness in the scent profile. Of course, the cardamom is very much what this scent profile is known for, the original La Nuit de l'Homme. This is one of the ones that I kind of go back and forth with. I think before when I did this, the original La Nuit de l'Homme might have been in here. So kind of go back and forth sometimes with fragrances from that line. I think the original L'Homme is one I've had on here before. Very, very solid line. I love this line. Nuit de L'Homme and the L'Homme line way more than like the YSL wide line, whatever. But this stuff is so good, man. Love it. That's why it's on the list from the brand of YSL. Nuit de L'Homme Blue Electric. All right, guys, and the next fragrance on the list, again, this has to be probably the sexiest designer fragrance ever created, one of the best date night fragrances. And this one has been pretty consistent for a while in my top 10 as well. This is Dolce & Gabbana, the One Eau de Parfum. All right, this is cardamom, orange blossom, tobacco, and amber. And it has some of my favorite notes of perfumery in here. You have the tobacco, you have the amber, and the orange blossom is a note I've really come to love over the past year or so because it really goes well with a lot of, it's a floral note that goes well with sweet fragrances because orange blossom is kind of sweet. It's a floral note, but it's sweet. And I sometimes describe it as being kind of creamy. Just the way it comes off to me in a lot of fragrances that, I've smelled it in. Very close to neroli, petit grain, because they all kind of come from the same tree. But anyway, it is fantastic. This fragrance is fantastic. And again, it is one of the best, in my opinion, date night designer fragrances ever created still to this day. I absolutely love this stuff. This will always be in my collection. From the brand of Dolce & Gabbana, this is the One Eau de Parfum. All right, guys, the next fragrance comes from the brand of Christian Dior, and this is Dior Homme Sport. This one is from 2012, okay? What you get right here is iris, ginger, cedar wood, and this very bright citron note up top. Now, in 2008, there was no iris in the fragrance, and then they came back around when it was originally released. They came back around in 2012 and they added the iris. And I think when they re-released it again in 2017 or so, they took the iris back out. This is the best version of that fragrance with the iris in it. Now, this is another line where I go back and forth. I've had Dior Homme Intense in here before. I've had Dior Homme Parfum. All three of those fragrances, those two and this one, are absolute masterpieces in my opinion. I just go back and forth sometimes with which one I am feeling more than others. And this one is so unique because of the added additional freshness in this one with those, that bright citrus, they're getting citron up top, and a little bit more of a sportier feel to it. This really does something that's really creative for me, and I just love it, man. One of my favorite fragrances, of course, designer fragrances, and that's why it's on the list. If you can find this one from 2012, you found a gem. From the brand of Christian Dior, this is Dior Homme Sport. All right, guys, and last but not least, on my 10 designer fragrances for life, again, I just cannot leave this off. From the brand of Giorgio Armani, Acqu Di Gio Profumo. Profumo, I think it was released in 2015, man. Great times. Sage, geranium, incense, and patchouli. And again, that's what it smells like. It smells like the original Acqu Di Gio, and add in the addition of the incense and the patchouli. Just made the scent profile even more versatile. Acqu Di Gio, again, at least at one point was one of the best selling men's fragrances of all time. And that's for a reason. That just doesn't happen. I remember having the original Acqu Di Gio like high school, college days, and how great it was then. And then this came along. Again, you added the incense and the patchouli, and it just made it even more versatile. And again, what happens when you take the best selling men's fragrance of all time, and obviously the most people wanted the best smelling because it was the best selling. That rhymes. See how good I am. When you take that, you add incense and patchouli, you get this, man. A masterfully done designer fragrance that has unlimited versatility from the brand of Giorgio Armani, Acqu Di Gio Profumo. But that is it, guys. That is my time. I hope you enjoyed this updated video of my 10 designer fragrances for life. As always, I sincerely appreciate you guys' time and attention to these videos. You don't have to watch, but you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. Now, don't forget to take a few moments to like, comment, and subscribe. Please make sure you're sharing these out to some other folks out there that you think could use the information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darian. I'm the BowTie fragrance guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.